White Walker-perpetuated offenses are considered especially heinous. In Westeros, 4 dedicated friends investigate and discuss these vicious episodes as members of an elite squad known as A Podcast Has No Name.
All right. I'm Afro.
I'm Ambush.
And I'm Morg, and this is A Podcast Has No Name.
Boop, 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 boop.
We are missing Castro tonight. So thank you for our theme song.
Hey.
For sure.
Wait, what was that from, though? Why do I know that? What's that from?
Dun, 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 dun.
But I feel like it was
I
like
don't
on a
know.
kid's
I can't
TV
think of it
show.
right now either.
Well, you do know it from Nardwar, too, because he goes,
Okay.
doo-doo-doo-doo,
Yeah.
and he wants you to do the rest, and then people don't know it.
I feel like it was like
That might be
from
what you're thinking.
the Sesame Street segment or one of those type of shows, a Muppet show. But all right, it'll come to me like 10 minutes from now, or 10 minutes after the call, whichever. Yeah.
I feel like it's game show related.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Wait.
All right, well,
Okay.
whatever. The
Exactly.
exciting news is no Castro tonight.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what?
I can't wait till he hears that. No, I'm just kidding, Castro. We miss you.
So that's where I was
We
gonna
miss
go.
you.
I was gonna be like, oh man, when he hears it, he doesn't listen to the episodes. He'll never know you took that jab.
I don't know. I think he definitely listens when he's not on to
Oh,
see if
good
Ash
point.
talks shit.
Good point.
Yeah.
Af, talk more
Yeah.
shit.
What did Afro
Talk
say?
your shit.
Yeah,
We're gonna
the
need more.
curiosity
Yo.
is always going to kill the Castro. Like, he can't not know. He's got to know.
All right, yeah. Okay, so that being
Yo,
said,
so my homegirl listens to the show. I told her she's our 8th listener, and she
Shout out to the homie. Shout out to the homie.
shout out to Nina, and she was like, "Yeah, it's kind of like listening in on an argument that you're not supposed to be listening to, talking about me and Castro."
That's pretty accurate.
it's like your parents going at it and you listening through the wall like, ooh.
Yeah, through the bedroom wall.
Yeah. Oh, she said that to Dad. Oh.
She called him a son of a bitch. Ooh. Oh my god.
I love it. That sounds about right.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
That's pretty accurate.
So tonight we're going to talk about Stranger Things, the second half, episodes 5 through 8. We've already gone over, if you didn't listen, listeners, to our first half of Stranger Things, listen to that before you listen to this. Because we've already gone over the plots and the themes and all of that good stuff. And we are going to just take it away with the characters that we really got to know in the second half of the season. So I'd like to start. Is someone dying?
You said someone dying? I hope.
If someone's literally having a fight with their phone, so.
Oh. I don't hear anything.
Is that Am?
I'm sorry if it was me. I didn't hear anything. But maybe it's me.
Okay. It sounded like maybe you and your phone got inside of a paper bag and then you were trying to figure your way out of it.
Don't worry, it's happened to me before.
Is that funny, F? It's hilarious like that? That's how? Yeah.
That was your girlfriend.
Yeah, that was my laugh.
No, I mean-
Okay.
I'd say.
I mean, I heard.
God.
I heard your. I can
I
distinguish
mean, you don't know
the
my laugh
laughs.
now?
No,
All
no,
of a
no,
sudden
no.
you
I
don't
can,
know what I sound
I
like?
can distinguish the laughs. Y'all think y'all slick. Y'all think y'all slick. Y'all not. Hold up. You know what? Calm it down. I will not be Castro this episode. Calm it down.
Okay. Do it.
Do your best, Castro.
Because you know what, Af? Yeah, Af. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Oh, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Okay.
You're pretty good. You got it down. You got it down.
Oh, God.
So I want to start with Murray and Alexi. Because we touched on Murray just a touch in the first one, but he really shines in this second half.
Yeah, he does.
And when Alexi gets kidnapped by Hopper and Winona Ryder,
Linda.
Will's mom.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it Nancy? No. Is it Nancy?
I think it was Linda's. Not
No.
Linda?
No, he just said it.
Go.
I don't know if it's really Linda. That feels
It
like...
is certainly not Linda.
All right.
Wow. Did we watch this
The
show?
girl from Beetlejuice. So, let's see.
Joyce. Her name is Joyce.
Joyce is right.
Right.
Nancy and Linda. Okay. Joyce.
We really love this show, guys. We really love this show.
We do.
We always
It's hard
get
to
names
keep all the
wrong.
characters straight.
Yeah, we always get names wrong on every show. So don't worry about it.
Okay, so he gets kidnapped by Joyce and
Hopper. And Hopper. And it's going to take him to try and figure out, like, get some information and also maybe hold him for ransom. I don't know. Like, they're not sure. But you're coming with him.
Right.
And Murray is the only one who speaks Russian. And they become not fast friends in the beginning, but that's the only way they can communicate, you know? So that ends up being such a great little duo.
Yeah.
By the very end, they are friends, and it's like they're teaching each other things. And it was really cute to see them at the carnival together, you know, for a second. What do you guys think of Alexi?
Alexi, I thought was like adorable. He was very laughable to me. I think my favorite with him was when he was at the July 4th celebration and was just like, oh, games. Like, let me play games. Let me do, like, he just had these moments where he was like, yes, I am in America. Like, give me that fucking cherry Slurpee. You know?
Right,
like,
right.
I want all the American things.
Yeah. And, you know, I think that, like, as Americans, there is this tendency some of us have to, like, when people don't speak the same language, for us, it sometimes instinctively translates to them being less intelligent than us.
Yep.
When it's really just like, no, they're not fucking stupid. They just don't speak the same language that you do. And I feel like you have those moments with Alexi where you're like, oh, he's so cute and stupid. And you're like, no, actually, he's like a really smart engineer.
Right.
And like extremely intelligent. He's just having these moments where he also is able to just like let loose and like enjoy being in, like, not trapped in an underground mall or something like that.
Right.
And it's like really just enjoying and letting loose and having fun. So I loved him. He was one of my favorites.
I feel like it's easy to forget that he was basically being held captive. Like, he didn't have a real choice there to continue on that project or not. It was like, oh, the one guy got killed, so I guess it's just me now. You know, like,
right.
So you forget that part. I didn't have the. I know what you're saying, Ash, but I didn't have the, oh, he's stupid. It was always like, for me, I always thought he's so much smarter than them. Because look at what he's working on. And so my thought of him was, he's sitting in this car and has to just be like, you stupid Americans. Like, you're so dumb. You have no idea what you're up against and what's going on in there. You know, like, it just seemed like there was no way they could compete in any way with him. But I did love that when Murray's like, oh, those games, fuck that. That's rigged. Don't even try it. And he's like, huh, really? Let me go play.
Right.
Let's see.
Right.
There was also that moment in the backseat with him and Murray when he's like, you know, what are y'all talking about? He's like, I told him to go have sex. And he's like, oh, they haven't had sex yet? Like, fuck out of here. You know, like another, like.
Totally.
Like, yeah, he's fucking down, you know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
What about you, Am?
No, you guys have pretty much summed it up. I loved Alexi. I loved it. I loved the childlike wonder at the fair. I loved him and Murray's relationship developing, and then also that super dope scene, which kind of was like a scene of vindication for Hopper when Alexi got the car keys and was about to be out, and it was just like, when am I running back to? I'm better off with these guys.
And that's what I was going to say in response to what you said, Morgan, of like, you forget he's captured. I felt like that was a definitive moment. It was like him changing from being captured or held captive to being like, no, I'm actually choosing to be here as well. And now I'm like a part of like y'all thing, you know?
Right. Part of the resistance.
I feel like after that there were no more handcuffs really. It was like more conversational, like, all right, I'm clearly going where y'all are going, but y'all looking out for me now. It's not like I am, you know,
your
being
prisoner.
held against my will. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
We also got a character in the form of a vehicle.
Yeah.
A police commandeered vehicle called the Todd Father.
Oh, yeah.
Which was,
I had to find the make and model on the Todd Father.
yes. Such a nod to the 80s. That whole dude, the dude Todd, was such a Todd.
Did he have a sweater tied
like
around his polo? I can't remember.
80s. I think he had a sport coat on because he was very clearly like a stockbroker.
Okay.
New in the market, you know, when they were making all the money, and he's got this like convertible big ass vehicle. That's the pussy wagon, basically.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Can we just talk about really quickly what the fuck you would do if someone walked up to you in no sort of uniform whatsoever and was like, I'm going to need to take your car, official police business, TTYO?
Nah. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
What would you do?
No,
you would say no? You can't
yeah.
get out of my car?
Especially, I mean, I feel like that would have worked for me in the 90s because you see that a lot on TV and you're like, oh, yeah, you know, listen, man, Beverly Hills Cop. You're like, the whole perception of police back then was a little bit different than it is now as an adult and everything that's going on.
Sure.
You're not taking my car to do anything. No, sir. I don't want to be on video involved with anything involved with what you're about to be doing. As a matter of fact, I want to hamper you. I want to make sure you can't get to where you're going. You're going to go kill somebody? Nope, sorry.
Right.
I'll take the keys out the ignition and toss them across the highway. You wouldn't commandeer this car? Sorry, I can't help you. Go try that Jeep Cherokee up there.
It's still so wild to me that was ever a moment like, yeah, I'm just going to have to take this car real quick.
Oh, my God.
You can come get it another day.
Right. After I've done whatever to it? No, I'm cool, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I just don't trust that, you know, if the police wreck my car, that I get a car again. I just don't think that's what happened.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I think I'm just shit out of luck. I don't think the department is like cutting me a check.
Right.
Yeah, I think if I'm in the car, I'm just going to try and speed off. If I'm like outside the car pumping gas, I'm going to be like, just take it. Like, I don't fucking care. My kid's not in there, right? All right. Let me get my
I'm all right then.
Like, it's broke. It's broke. It just broke just now. You can't have it. They got
I don't know what I would do. That shit is wild. Like, watching that is... And his confusion, I mean, he's asking all the right questions, too. Like, wait, well, when will I get it back? Where do I even pick it up from? What's going on? Like,
yeah.
You know, I know that Hopper did flash his badge, but it doesn't matter. Like, that could have been anything. And then you got Joyce walking up pretending like she's a detective. Like, oh, my God, you guys.
Yeah. Worst.
I don't know how she's always wearing clothes that are someone else's. Like, everything she wears is 7 times too big.
I was like, her mouth is always hanging open. That's my thing. It's like, if we could capture the number of seconds every season where she's just like big-eyed and wide-mouthed, it's like, all right, girl. It's not that many surprises at this point, you know? Like,
how are you still getting surprised?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, we did get a surprise. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
we did get a surprise in that Dustin got a girlfriend that nobody believed was real.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And for the record, I did believe Susie was real because I don't know who the fuck built that communication tower for no other reason.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there was never a
Right.
doubt in my mind whether she was real or not. I'm curious to know
Yeah, like Susie
who
was
thought
for
she
sure
was.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
we
mean,
finally got
Dustin's
her.
not the type of dude to like really like need to lie about something like that either. Honestly.
He's not, but they played him out. Like they definitely made it like, ooh, a girlfriend.
Yeah. Like, oh
I
yeah,
don't
right.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was foul. Are these your friends or not?
Right.
Oh my god.
Like they were not believing in it. But we finally met her. Very last episode, we get
Oh my God.
Susie.
I loved her.
Yeah. That
Tell
was
me more.
amazing.
So there was I mean, she had such a short scene, but she completely answered all the questions you needed, right? Like, yes, she's a nerd. Yes, she's a cute nerd. Yes, she like puts her foot down to Dustin. Like, nope, I ain't giving you the answer to this question until you do what I need you to do.
Yes.
She like you completely got her and got them, you know, and like why they work all in that one scene, and they gave you the cutest moment, that fucking song, like singing, and like it was like, yeah, I'm gonna let you sing to me, and then I gotta join in, cause like we sing it together, you know.
And way to put Dustin's Broadway talent into the show because
Hello.
he's been singing and dancing and acting, and that was super dope to have them doing that duet. That was so cute.
Yeah.
My only annoyance was like, we really don't have time for the entire song, guys. Like, if we could hit the bridge or, you know, maybe.
So that's what made me really enjoy it. The fact that they kept going. It was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all doing it. Oh, this is even more cute. This is amazing.
Right.
Susie does not
And
care.
for her, it was like very clear that she didn't have any context to what was going on.
None.
You know.
He just told you we're trying.
So it was like, keep going.
Right. It's the end of the world, and she's like, regardless of that, I'm gonna get what I need.
You know. First of all, you've been gone. Where you been?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Priorities, y'all. Priorities.
Oh, nod too. I'm sorry. What'd you say, Morgan?
I just priorities. She like, you've been gone. You needed to hit me a long time ago. We got to do this whole song now because you've been gone.
And this is your fault.
And as a matter of fact, if the world is ending, this is how I want it to end.
Hello. Yes. Yes.
But I also love the nod to like, yep, you got a bunch of other kids here and a bunch of grown men and little boys, but you still need a young lady to say
hello.
You know?
Yeah.
You still need that.
Gotta solve that problem before you can move forward. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So,
wait.
And she had it.
One quick one. Do you guys remember the name of that super ham radio that he built?
No.
Cerebro.
Oh my God, it was.
I was like,
what was it?
Cerebro. So that's
Cerebro, which is
from the X-Men.
X-Men.
Yeah.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
When he said
You're
it,
right.
we were like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What just happened?
All sorts of excited.
Yeah, I was hyped. I was like, oh, that was dope. Okay. Cool beans. Oh,
so
man.
we also have Robin and Steve. And we talked about Robin and we talked about Steve, but we did not talk about Robin and Steve in the first half of
Yeah, we said that Dustin did try and, like, hint. He gave a little...
Dustin was going hard. Like, this is your person.
Yeah, this is
yeah,
your chick,
like I
bro.
can tell.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
Stop denying yourself.
Which got Steve thinking, and Steve was like, oh shit, she is dope. She is hella nice. Oh shit, I think she liked me. Okay.
We got high together. Which I will say, that was one of my favorite parts of the season, is the two of them being drugged by the Russians and just being dumb fucking high. Yo, that whole scene in the back of the Indy cart where like you're driving like it's the Indy 500, it's 300, it's 500, let's call it 1,000,000, and they just died. Like that was some genuine high shit where you just like with your homie fucking cracking up.
Yes.
Over all the things.
Oh my God.
So.
Yeah.
So they had a great story arc, I thought. Like they really they became friends. We got the understanding that they went to school together and that Steve was definitely the dick that he was in school, always to all people except for the people that he liked. Robin was not one of them. And I just remember her explaining this scene of him being in class and really sounded like, you know, she was focused on him, paying attention to him, like, I looked for you every day kind of thing. She didn't say that, but that's what it alluded to. And then we get the, okay, Steve's down. Steve wants this. Hey, what about me? Do you like me? And, like, this was definitely TV being made in 2019 about the 80s, because I don't think this happened a lot in the 80s, especially in their dynamic. But her saying, oh, no, remember when I was talking about you? I was really talking about this girl Tammy that I like, and she wouldn't stop looking at you. And he was like, yeah, but Tammy's a girl.
Right.
And that pause of her being like, yeah, and him being like, oh, like it made me realize, you know, just how, oh shit, that was really taboo then, you know, like that was not, there was no, she wasn't coming out to everybody, you know what I mean?
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, like that had to be a pretty, she had to feel pretty comfortable with old Harrington to come out to him in that regard.
And then
and they had just been through a lot too, so I feel like in a lot of ways they solidified their friendship, and she felt like she could trust him. But I do agree. I don't know how many people were coming out all like that in the 80s, although we do know that queer folks been here since the beginning of time.
Hello.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello.
No question. Have they felt comfortable saying, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure. I'm with you.
No, not to no fucking bully.
Yeah, or even that, like being a part of, or like a subplot of a show.
I loved it. I thought it was important. I liked it. It worked out for me.
Yeah. And then also,
and it was great to see, like, oh, go ahead.
I was also, you know, watching how everything played out at the end with her trying to help him get the job at the video store because they were no longer
totally
all like that whole, like the way that scene played out and just the way they played off each other. I could do more of that. I could watch more scenes. Yeah. I want to see that friendship keep developing in the next season. Like I'm with that. They are hilarious.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
and I like that Steve didn't do the douchebag shit. Like, oh, you don't like me, you don't want to fuck me, then fuck you. You know, like they became best friends. They went through a lot together, and they, you know, want to continue to work together so that they have that time together. Like I love the way that worked out.
Yeah.
Because we know dudes don't handle rejection great, so.
Real talk.
Yeah.
You know, so while we're on that, let me ask you guys something. Do you
Castro,
think that's all I had? That's all the Castro I was gonna go. That's it. I just know he likes to ask you guys something when it comes to the male-female dynamic. He does enjoy taking those opportunities to ask you guys something. I just didn't have it.
Oh my God! You really got me going there. You really had me going. And then Morgan, he was like, "Oh, Castro's here," and I was like, "Oh, let me look in the thread. Did he just pop up? What happened? Is he on the phone? Like y'all both? Yeah, y'all got me.
You got me good."
So, but while we are on the topic, I'm going to ask something completely off topic that has nothing to do with the show. Okay? Here we go. Yo, Manny Pacquiao is fighting on Saturday. Does anyone else feel like he needs to just sit his ass down somewhere? Like,
Oh God.
are y'all? Do you guys know him?
I'm not privy to any of his fights or how he. I don't.
When was
nope.
his last one?
I mean, I know who he is.
Okay. I feel like his last fight was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, he's got
wow.
chill.
Okay, that could.
And
Maybe he ain't been
I feel like
sitting in the gym, or
popular in fighting like almost like 5 to 10 years ago was like his real time.
Mm-hmm.
And even then I felt like he was kind of old.
He
was. Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, don't you got like a family and like a bunch of money? Can't you just chill?
Like, do you want that head trauma?
Family and a bunch of money.
You want that brain trauma, dude? Chill out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, that's not a good look, yo.
Mm-mm.
Anyway.
He's tripping.
We're back on topic now.
Back on track. Speaking of how old Manny Pacquiao is, 80s nostalgia, huh?
Great segue.
80s nostalgia.
Overall, I love this show for all of what it gives us, all of the nostalgia and the Easter eggs and all of the stuff, But having the mall, and we touched on this, having the mall and seeing all of the stores that no longer exist or are somehow still hanging on by a thread like Claire's. I don't know how that place still exists.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there was so much going on. Like that scene where they go and Max takes 11 shopping and she's trying all the clothes on, and like that whole little scene was Material Girl all day. Just
Yep.
the cutest little thing. Do you guys have any favorite things that were there or made you think of things or remind you of your childhood?
The mall? Is that what you're talking about? Or just
yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Am.
So the Sam Goody immediately made me think about We Three Records because they existed around the same time, and then We Three Records are turned into The Wall, which was I used to steal music from there as a young youth. So all of that did come back.
I'm sorry, can you enunciate a little more with that? You used to do what?
I did my share of pilfering.
Hilarious.
Did my share of pilfering. I don't know. Okay,
good word. Good word.
Like, do y'all remember The Wall at all? The record store? So they used to.
We didn't have a wall.
Okay.
So. No, is that a Philly thing or like?
It might have been. Yeah, it might have been a tri-state area type thing. So it was when you walked in, they had a whole wall of nothing but whatever the top 10 singles were, and so remember like a footwear store like Champs used to have 15 pairs of the same shoe. Just how they set up their displays.
Mm-hmm.
This record store did the exact same thing. So say System of a Down dropped a new single, there'd be 30 copies of just that single on the wall. And then someone would just restock it every single time you grabbed one. And they would just be sitting on shelves by themselves. So people would just, grab the single, grab the cassette, whatever, and go to the register. And then the other thing the wall used to do, they used to give you an unlimited, they gave you a lifetime warranty on your music. So you'd go to the register and they give you this wall sticker, and you put the sticker on the cassette, and then you could just say if the cassette pops, you can just bring it back and they'd give you another one.
Okay, so now I see why they didn't stay in business.
Exactly. So what we ended up doing, everyone would just be like, okay, I'm just going to put the sticker on the case and not on the actual cassette, and just keep switching the cases out. And I can just, swap out my music whenever I feel like it and get a brand new cassette every single time. So then they started putting it on the actual cassettes.
Jeez.
Yeah, we were stealing in many different ways from the wall. But yes, so when I saw Sam Goody, that made me think about the wall. I was like, yo, that's crazy. And then of course Orange Julius, and I didn't spend any time in that, but Orange Julius was the shit. Oh my God. I do like how
I never had Orange Julius. I just saw it and I was just like,
same.
I don't like oranges that much, so.
Guys,
Can't imagine why I'd want to do this.
they're still around. They're still around. Go treat yourself. What are you talking about?
Okay, I'll see if I can find one.
Well, next time you're here, we'll go to the Lloyd Center, and I'll treat you guys to Orange Julius because it's definitely still here.
Oh, how sweet.
It's super sweet. That's exactly what it is. That's why I love this so much.
Okay.
Sweet frothy orange juice. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I do like how.
Okay,
So for me, some of those small things were definitely the Sam Goody. But also there were like some things that were like, you know, like the little games that you see in the middle of the mall.
Yeah.
Like some of that little stuff that you're like, oh yeah, or how like there was that car randomly sitting in the mall. Like, oh, you can win this car if you know. So
I wonder if any of those marketing tactics ever worked. Like, because those were everywhere.
Yeah,
you know, like you could win a car at almost any supermarket or mall. Or
yeah, I mean, it worked for the marketeers to get your info.
Oh, it
That's how
definitely
they
did.
really wanted
certainly.
it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm just
wouldn't-
like, did anybody ever win a car? Like,
Absolutely. not.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. not.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
never
I
had a
don't know
reason to
anyone
give
that
anyone
has.
a car. Yeah, they never had. Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah.
Not
I believe
admin.
it.
Okay.
Nah. I do like how overall how they handled the nostalgia. It didn't seem heavy-handed ever. It was just, this is the time period. This is what we're in. They weren't like, if there were Easter eggs, it wasn't to the point like, oh, look at that lunchbox. Oh, snap. Like, it wasn't like, you know, they weren't wearing clothes that had certain TV shows. They're just trying to let us know every opportunity we're in the 80s. It just,
in the 80s.
there.
Yeah, like the Gap logo. That was like
the old ass Gap logo.
Old, that there was the Back to the Future moment and the movie theater, which I too. And then I feel like, you know, you mentioned Easter eggs. I feel like there were a bunch of 80s nostalgia Easter eggs thrown in there too, where like, you know, and we'll talk about the Mind Flayer, but you know, those like little tentacle extensions or like the break-offs that would just like be crawling around like very 80s alien feeling.
Yeah.
Their little teeth when they would just like look at you and like scream in your face, like definitely a nod to Alien. So I feel like there were a bunch of moments like that where it was just like these little, I don't know if you would call them Easter eggs or just like a nod in that nostalgia kind of way.
Yeah.
Like paying homage to these things. So I thought it was dope.
Yeah.
Agreed. So the Mind Flayer.
That motherfucker, man. The way
that motherfucker.
The way they just kept building it from episode to episode. The way he was gathering, you know, biomaterials, starting with whatever that gray dust was, then the rats, then the people. It was just like, what is happening? And you started to see it form, and it's like, wait a minute. Is that really what I think it is? Holy fuck. And like, you're like, that's the last thing you want in the real world. Dude, what? That shit was amazing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the last thing you want in the real world. Like, there is nothing about anyone that's like, no, I think it'd be great to have that guy here with us all the time. Like,
we'll study him.
Wow.
You know?
Like, you nailed it, Af. Like that, the aliens and monsters and whatever in the 80s, to me, just I remember them being like these ginormous blobs, and it just being like slimy and drippy and just like you don't really have a face, it's just there, and that totally was what that thing was, you know, like how can you be so wet and so slippery? Like,
goddamn Greyjoy.
And not be part of Theon and them family.
Right.
Yeah.
And not be a Greyjoy.
Not be a Greyjoy. Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, wow. It really was. Like, that is what monsters and aliens and all of that were in the 80s, and they did a great job.
Yeah.
It did take me being like, wait a minute, I thought the mind flayer was in the Upside Down, and they're building it.
Uh-huh.
I get it.
Yeah. It took me.
That
Yeah, I feel the same.
that was my moment of realization. Oh, okay, I am following along. What the hell is happening here?
My players
Mhm.
under construction. Under construction.
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, there was a lot with the Mind Flayer I just couldn't watch. Like, it was just disgusting. You know, the beginning, the fucking rats and explosions and, like, beings and all that shit. Like, I just couldn't do it. And
Did
then,
you
like,
cover your eyes?
yeah,
What
the,
did you
the
do?
people melting.
Yeah. What did you do? Did you cover your eyes or turn away? Like, what'd you do?
I just turned away. I just and not like turned away, like hide my face, was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna look at my phone for a little bit.
And you just
I
peek
just,
up,
like,
every once in a while.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, nope, it's not the time. Or like, I could feel that like the rat was about to explode. So like, you know what? I'm just gonna look. I feel like there's gonna be a disgusting explosion coming, and I'm just gonna not. I'm not gonna do that.
Let me check the
You
gram.
know? I'll hear it when it's over.
Yeah. Oh man.
So
Yeah.
that's how. But I feel like that's a testament to how well they did with the.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd agree.
I had many moments with the rats that were an issue for me. Like I just the going from solid to not, and
Yeah.
like I'm with you.
I
That
don't
was
fuck with rats anyway.
Anyway.
like I should be totally fine seeing a rat like explode. Like I should be fine with that because I don't want you around.
Right.
But like when that rat was in the cage and they're trying to like, I think something's wrong with this rat.
Like you fucking think? You?
Like there are bubbles happening with that rat. Like there are things expanding.
Right.
What do you mean?
Whole
Right.
lesions and shit, bruh.
Yeah.
That was gross.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that was my annoyance with Nancy is like, you doing all this other shit, but you don't want to pay attention to homeboy who's telling you that there's something off with this fucking rat.
Right.
Right.
You just brought all my annoyance
Yeah,
with
Nancy
Nancy
was
back.
a lot.
You just brought it all back, Av. Like my whole face just went stone. It's like fucking Nancy.
Yeah.
That goddamn Nancy.
Goddamn Nancy.
Yeah.
I'm developing
got
photos in here, Nancy. The fuck?
Oh my God, he's been so mad. I mean, I feel like there's an experience where he was really in the dark room developing photos and somebody kept walking in on him because the amount of mad Ambush was about that, it was so heightened. Like she was annoying with a lot of things, but it was that specifically that he'd be like, come on!
Like as we're watching it, Av, every single time. I'm like, oh, God.
Nancy, for real?
There's no going back from that shit. Once you ruined
No,
the
you ruined
developing
it.
photos,
Yeah.
and like that's his only job there. Is
That's
a
his
photographer.
only job. That's his only job, bro. Damn it.
Yeah, she was very selfish in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but I'm gonna shout her out later in Redemption.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like.
So speaking of people that got on our nerves,
Right. I feel like that was a smooth transition to who was doing the most.
Oh, are we done with all the characters?
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
I do want to give a quick shout out to the mayor for being an asshole.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That fucking guy.
Yeah. I was happy that Hopper beat the shit out of him, sort of.
Oh, he did. What a piece of shit that dude was. Like,
yeah.
A complete and total piece of shit. And just reminded me how terrible and how corrupt so many people in government are. And they, like, legitimately get into it for that reason. Like, just the power. I just want to be the one that runs the town. You have zero, like, you're doing nothing for these people. You're only serving yourself. Makes me so mad.
Yeah.
And
Like,
it's
oh, I
so
know how I
relevant.
can make some money. I can just be a corrupt mayor. That's what I'll do
Yeah,
for the next 5
I'll
years.
just run for mayor real quick.
Right. And then
Right.
Gain the respect I deserve.
totally slept on the fact, and it's crazy that I didn't recognize him until like after I saw it, somewhere on the internet. Like, oh, dude, that was dude from The Princess Bride. Like, how did I not recognize him?
Oh,
yeah,
Because he was
yeah. I
being
saw
that
that
much of an
today.
asshole. Right. He was being that much of an asshole. I didn't recognize. Jeez. God.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Old Robin Hood.
Yep. Exactly. Men in Tights Robin Hood. Yeah. With Dave Chappelle. Oh man, I gotta go back and watch that. Sheesh.
So, Ab, who was doing the most for you in this second half of the season?
It was actually one of my favorite characters, and that is the Russian Alexa.
Alexi.
Alexi.
Yeah.
Alexi, yeah.
Alexi. She said, Alexa.
And I was like formulating a
about it.
question to ask Alexa.
Right. Alexa, who was doing the most?
What was the
Alexa,
Russian
who's the guy's name that's Alexa?
Right. Alexa, who was doing the most in the third season?
He was doing the most because, like, he was on his, I mean, for all the same reasons I like him, Like, I asked for cherry, not strawberry. I can't give you any information until you get my fucking Slurpee right. Like, that, like, pretending to leave, like, and then the biggest, which was his fucking demise, was doing the most at the fair. He should have been fucking chilling, not. Right. And if you're going to play a game, don't play it till you drawing a whole fucking crowd over,
Right. You supposed to be low key.
Play your game, win your little shit, and get out of there.
Right. The entire town is watching this man win a game no one's ever won before. Dad, get that off over me.
Exactly. Oh my God, Cassius has so much to say right now. I'm so sorry, guys.
No, do not apologize. This is the highlight for me. What are you saying, bro? What is it?
He learned how to, you know how you do your hand on your mouth, like, like that?
Yeah.
So he just likes the way it sounds.
Oh, my, you're so right,
I'm pretty
Castro.
sure what he's saying is he wants the stuffed animal that Alexi won, so, Mom, you really need to get that for him.
That's what I want
Mom.
for my 1-year birthday. That's what I want.
Pretty sure.
Make it happen. Oh, man.
But, yeah, he was walking around all hype that he had won his little joint, and, that was a real sad moment when he was pretty much looking right at Murray when he got shot.
Oh, yeah, when the Terminator came through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But he was just doing the most. He was like, I feel like somewhere in his mind, he was like, yeah, you know what? I'm off that Russian in the world shit, and I'm just going to live my life. And it's like, nah, dog, you need to be in a corner hiding.
The lowest of keys, dog. The lowest keys.
He was never supposed to get out of the car.
Right.
He was supposed to be in the car.
Exactly.
They weren't supposed to stay at the fair. These fools got on rides. There was all sorts of shit happening.
Yep.
Oh
Nobody was supposed to be there that long. Hopper gets in a whole fucking fist fight with like 18 people in a fun house.
These
in a fun house.
These niggas getting temporary tattoos. It was all types of madness.
Exactly, fucking Hannah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, what are y'all
They
doing?
face painted, balloons and shit.
Right.
Okay, but the Hopper in the funhouse, that's 80s as shit too, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Hell yeah.
so many 80s movies involved a funhouse with fun mirrors and like whether it was happy or there was a fight happening, that shit was all over the place.
True. Very true.
Yeah. Even the whole thing with what's his name? Grigori getting shot and then getting back up. Like that was full Terminator. Terminator.
Yes.
And then open his jacket, he's got a bulletproof vest on. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
The undefeatable Russian. Everything. I mean, that's
Yeah,
Ivan Drago. That's
with a
every
full clip.
Man. Yeah.
He got shot with a full clip and didn't even sit down.
No.
Like, that wasn't butt to the floor. Like, he just, like, stumbled and was like, God bless it. Let me get this thing off of me.
Also, Hopper went down that fucking slide that we know, like, come on, you would have got stuck in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
easily.
definitely, bro.
Hopper is stuck in his jeans. Like, why are they not fitting clothes on this man?
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going on.
Hopper, and now,
Thank
okay,
you, Kat.
so I can explain that. I can explain that fully.
Okay, go ahead.
Please do.
Hopper is the single man that doesn't have new underwear until a new girlfriend buys it for him. He's that dude. He's had the same socks since he's moved out of his mom's house.
You're
like,
so right.
yeah,
A real thing.
yeah. That's
Kat
just
knows. And Kat said specifically, he will never be that man.
yeah. Like a new woman has to come into his life to give him
What kind of shit is that?
a new love interest has to come into his life for him to have a reason to clean up at all. Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, yeah, he's sloshing around looking like whatever every day of the week. Until he's got a date at
That's
7
fair.
o'clock. Yeah.
Sloshing around?
Just sloshing around.
Sloshing around.
Just sloshing around.
Fantastic.
That sounds even grosser.
It so does. It sounds wet. Nobody needs it.
Right.
Ambush, who was doing the most for you?
Man, I didn't have any. I think I'd still spent a lot of the second half still being mad at Nancy. I can't think of anyone else that was doing the most in the second half.
I don't know.
of the
Nancy was
season.
killing it in the mall.
Yeah.
Nancy was killing it in the cabin.
She was turning up.
Nancy
was
can
killing
handle
the
a fucking
cabin.
gun.
Yeah.
Yo, and Nancy can fucking drive the shit out of a station wagon. Like, those things are dragging. They are heavy. She was whipping them shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I guess we got to throw her in the redemption then, because
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, I got some things to talk about with Nancy later, because that shotgun scene, and she's not a big woman.
She's not.
She's not even close. She is frail.
She's frail,
like
B.
a $110
She's
wet.
frail. Exactly. With Tim's on.
Soaking wet with Tim's on.
With Tim's, right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And she's wearing, like, summer jellies or some shit.
Right.
And loading and shooting a fucking shotgun, like, yeah, you get it, man.
With the crimped hair just swinging, like she was.
Right. And that
Nancy
purple dress she had on for like 4 episodes.
For 4 episodes with that weird little cuff. What did they call that sleeve? Like, all of the dresses had that sleeve, and I was like, what the shit is that called?
Across the chest. Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Diamond cutouts.
Oh, I am cracking up. So Billy was doing the most for me.
Well,
Oh, but he was.
I know. Don't give a fuck. Okay? Don't care.
Still the most.
He's out here King Flair. He's Ric Flair out here, and he's fucking everybody up.
Yeah.
Poor Max. She, if you'll remember, was doing the most for me in the first half of this.
Who?
Max.
Max, yeah.
But I
Max,
felt bad for her having that experience of, I mean, it makes it somehow a little bit easier to know that this was like not who your brother is. This was happening to him.
Right.
But it kept putting me in this place of like, what the fuck would I do if like my brother was trying to kill everybody? You know?
But then the flashbacks they gave us of, how their blended family came together showed that constant strife they always had. There was some really good storytelling.
Definitely.
That really was.
Yeah. The flashbacks were very helpful.
Mm-hmm. It was like, meet your sister and you better fucking shake her hand. And it was like, okay, so you have to her.
And she's already born.
Right. Yeah, right.
Like, I would, if you're introducing family, I mean, I guess I don't know what you say, but just like, meet your sister here? Like, is that how you do it? She's been around for 7 years?
Here
You
you
know
go.
what
The
I mean?
blended family thing, right? Like his mom getting together with her dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Oh,
Brady
you
Bunch
know what?
style.
I totally had that wrong. I thought they shared a parent, and it was like
Oh,
he had
no, no,
No.
had.
no.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're totally right. In my mind, they shared a parent.
Yeah, so for you it was like
Yo, the whole time I
had
was
this.
just like, what the fuck would you do?
Yeah.
And that moment when he like, strikes her down and fucks all three of them up in that little area
Oh
was like,
yeah.
yes. I mean, I never want to see like I don't like to see men hit women on TV in shows and movies and
Yeah.
shit.
Mhm.
And I definitely don't like seeing adults hit children in the face
Yeah.
in like that, like
Or throw them against walls.
or
Yeah.
throw them against a wall, yeah, or choke them the fuck out. Like I
Yeah.
don't like seeing any of that shit. So not a fan anyway. But like each time I was just like, just that's it, fuck.
Yeah. For
Yikes!
me,
But I was
I'm the same. I don't like seeing that shit either, but I did feel like it gave this season a very realistic
yeah, it's
feel.
authentic. If
Right.
someone
Yeah.
is played, they're not like, I can't hit a kid or I
Yeah.
can't, like, so yeah,
Right.
I mean, it definitely is authentic and what would happen if
Yeah.
that's not a person and you're pleading with them, please don't do this. They're not, fuck you, I don't know who you are right now. Like, I'm being controlled by something else. I can't even do this.
Right.
So yeah, definitely authentic, but yeah. Anyway, Billy was doing the absolute most. He was the one.
Yeah.
When he was in the car outside of the mall and like turned the lights on and did that whole 80s scene of that, of being like, vroom, vroom, I'm about to come fucking kill you.
Right. Whether it was a person in the car, or whether it was a demon car, that was a full 80s scene. Completely.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Whether it's Kit or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, like,
right. Oh,
yeah.
man. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so he also falls into the redemptive arc for me, but he, for me, was in that last part doing the absolute fucking most.
Yeah.
Next to J-Rock, a.k.a. Redemption.
Hey.
Af, I know that you had someone that you wanted to get to, so let's hear about it.
I feel like I did it already. Not to just jump ahead, but I jumped ahead, So, but my biggest redemption, I have two. The one was Nancy, who I spoke of earlier, but in the last recap we did for the first half of the season, she was my doing the most. And I don't even know if she was mine or if like somebody else said it and I was like, yeah, she was doing the most. But she is definitely my pick for doing the most. And then by the second half of the season, she had pulled out shotguns. She had another gun she was working with. Morgs, you mentioned her whipping the car, which I also thought was really interesting. Anytime it was like, oh shit, we got to get out of here, Nancy, drive. Like she was the one to jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Driver's seat, even though Will's older brother, what's his name?
Will's older brother.
Weird.
Right, even though Will's older brother could drive too.
Weird guy.
So yeah, she totally redeemed herself for me. And then the second one was actually Mike. Mike, who had lost his mind on 11 and was being a little bit overprotective, which, I understand. It's not just with them. It's not just like some boyfriend-girlfriend dynamic or even just a friend dynamic. It's like they understand 11's history and that she's, she, like we were talking about Alexi, 11 should not be running out in shopping malls, going on shopping sprees, or doing anything else to bring a bunch of attention to herself. But Mike was able to just, really tap into the fact that, it wasn't, for him, it wasn't all about, look, I'm trying to protect you. There was also some jealousy there as well. So for him, being able to be like, look, I was jealous, I acted a little irrational, and I realized that, you are your own person. You're not just for me to have for myself. And, No. So I thought that was very mature of him.
The older
Definitely.
brother's
So
name,
those are my two.
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Jonathan. I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, I was gonna
would
say
not.
No, and I
Paul.
still,
But
okay. Paul,
knowing it was wrong, I just wanted to throw it out there.
Even hearing that his name is Jonathan doesn't register still. Like, I'm not seeing a character be like, Jonathan, and me be like, oh, right, that's his name.
Only
Like,
Joyce.
No, I feel like Nancy's said Jonathan a couple times.
And
No, I'm
Joyce.
sure.
Joyce all the time.
It's not hitting me.
Yeah, Joyce
Mhm.
all
Yeah,
the
no.
time. Yeah, season 2.
I don't know about that, Am. I feel like Joyce kind of forgets that that's her son.
Agreed.
She's got one
Yeah.
boy. Well, I feel like she always blamed Jonathan for anything that happened to was it Mike? Will?
Mhm.
Will.
Which one? Yeah.
Will.
Like it was always Jonathan. You got to keep an eye on him. You know. Like That's yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
putting that
Yeah.
big brother pressure. Yeah.
Mhm.
And he's like, I just want to be my own man and develop photos. Why I always got to be worrying about him? Don't tell him. God.
I got you over here with the Will shit. I got Nancy fucking up my photos. I can't do anything around here. Just want to be one of these douchebag guys for a little bit. Let me be
Right.
accepted.
They get to have all the fun.
Ambush.
Redemption. I'm gonna go with
Who hit the
Hopper.
redemption for you?
I'm gonna go with Hopper. His redemption started when he was right about Alexi, because I knew for a fact that was the dumbest thing he could have done, and it was totally wrong, completely wrong. And then just him developing throughout the second half of the season, and of course that him dying, and then dying air quotes, and then 11 reading the letter. I was just like, man, wow. Look how you turned everything around. Look at you. You're growing up to be a full adult with a kid. Manning up. Excellent. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to go with Hopper. I definitely found myself less annoyed with him at the end of the season. I wasn't broken up when I thought he died. It was a strong way for him to go out. But I definitely was less annoyed with him because he was kind of, irking me with his decision making in the first half of the season.
He was irking. Okay. I'm still so mad at how those kids treated him. I can't. I just simply can't.
Yeah, right. I'm with you, Mark.
So Billy's my redemption. I agree with all of your redemption folks. Billy didn't have a choice in the matter of where he was until all of a sudden we see a different level of power from 11, and not just being able to like find people and know where they are, but like watch their memories. And she was so smart to like she didn't have anything. She was dead. Like he's on his there's nothing. And explaining to him like, you used to be happy, this was a thing, and giving him one of the happiest moments of his life to sort of snap him out of that and give him part of his own autonomy again. That was super dope. And the way he chose to handle that was to take the brunt of the mind flayer and let everybody free. I don't know how that's not redemption. It's like you can't hate Billy after that.
Yeah.
Any
so
other?
Do you think that was another power of hers, not just her being limited in access? Because how can I put this? I thought that she could only see his memories because he was like so deep into the mind flayer at that point. So that's all she had access to was like his past. I didn't think of that as her expanding on her.
Oh,
Will's
so
power.
I could be wrong. The way that I took it was that was a different level of power than we had seen her use. You know, um, a lot of it has just been telepathy, and then the other parts of finding people and seeing what they're doing.
So
But that to me was like another extension of power. That was more and
Right,
seeing more from what she did because it was exactly what she needed to be able to get out of that situation. It
right.
didn't seem
right,
like that was that out of desperation, but it was the right thing to get him out of it.
So
right.
I felt like it was a combination of the two. It definitely was what she needed. It was her, experimenting and developing her powers more. But I thought that she was able to have that connection because of the mind flare, and she got what happened. She had got a cut or whatever, and a piece of the mind flare was in her. And at that point, Billy was able to locate her too. So their connection was
Hmm.
stronger. So that when that was happening, that's when she was able to, delve into his past and all of that shit. So that's how I looked at it. Yeah.
I forgot about the part of them of the piece of it being in her and them being connected at that point.
It's very
Right, me too. I forgot.
it's very similar to Star Wars, how that played out. Uh One of the newer ones.
Oh, with Ray
Yep.
and
Yep.
mhm.
And Kylo. Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty dope. Pretty dope.
So we
Yeah.
saw
So,
from
sorry. Good reference.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So we started the season with the group sort of split, and Dustin was off at camp and had that weird, awkward, I've been gone for a month, now I'm back. Hey, what have you been doing without me? But also, I don't care that much because I have a girlfriend and I need you guys to help me build this tower. And also walk like 18 miles. It took them so long to
Oh
drive
my
to that place.
god.
How long did those kids walk?
With all that
Yeah.
equipment. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That was wild.
Yeah. That was
Um,
ridiculous.
anyway, there was different splits, and we had this last season too, where there were different groupings of the kids. But this there's some maybe finality to that in that the buyers dipset and they no longer live in Hawkins, and we have this whole other group of kids with Dustin, Erica now, Robin, and Steve.
Hmm.
Um, how did you guys? What do you think about not seeing the main four dudes together that often?
I think it prepared us for whatever they had set up for this next season. Them being separated and still going through this adventure prepared us for them being separated next season and going through whatever that's going to give us. They gave us a little bit of it last season with 11 being separated and having her own adventure. So, yeah, that's how I look at it. Like, this was all just prep. And it worked. It really did. Having Dustin with Steve and Robin was still extremely entertaining. We didn't miss Dustin being with the rest of the crew. And it was dope. And then 11 being with Max. So all of the little split offs and offshoots, the writing was done so well that we didn't need the core four guys together with 11 for us to enjoy the show. So, having them
Yeah,
grow up and everyone splitting off, like they're really handling their business with the writing. I think it was done very well.
Yeah, I agree. And I think initially I was maybe like a little bit annoyed about it, but I think in our last call, Morgan, you mentioned that you were happy that they put Dustin and Steve together again and like resurrected that little combo, and I was like,
yeah,
oh yeah, that's right. So after that, I was kind of like, okay, I'm digging this, and then I thought it worked well too because Steve and the girl, I can't think of her name. What's her name?
Robin?
Robin.
Robin, yeah. So Steve and Robin, they would split off. They had their little high moment and all of that. So they would dip off. Then we also got more of Dustin and what's her name's little sister, Lucas' little sister,
Erica.
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 Yeah.
Damn, I'm doing the worst with the names. I promise we watched this show.
Right.
So we got, some of that. And then what I also really appreciated was that their walkie-talkies didn't work as much as they had worked in previous seasons.
Yes.
So I feel like that added a nice little element of them really having to deal in the present with who they were with. And it really, constrained their ability to connect with one another sooner. But even once they did finally reconnect, I feel like, what was that, maybe the 7th episode?
Yeah.
They all got back together in the mall, and then they all split up again. So it was like, okay.
Had to divide and conquer yet again.
Right.
One thing about the division, and I kind of mentioned this in the last episode too, was I just felt like the kids were just doing way too much by themselves. It was like, okay, if Hopper and Joyce have been gone for, 2-3 days, they went to Illinois. So, are you really just trusting that 11 is, at Max's house for, all of these days? I just felt like at some point it was a little too ridiculous. And I did acknowledge that, which I appreciated, because Joyce ran into, who's Nancy's mom? Nancy and Will.
Yeah.
And Mike's mom. And was like, where are the kids? And she was like, I don't know, with such and such, such and such. Girl, it's the summer. I don't know what it's
Yep. That was real.
Was like, okay, thank you. No one knows where these fucking kids are. That is a problem to me. But so I was happy that they gave it that little nod for that moment of okay, cool. Someone is finally looking for the kids, and no one knows who they are. And thank you, because that was a problem for me.
What about the buyers leaving? I know that, it was a running theme throughout because Hopper was being such a dick about it. And was
was it a running theme? Because I felt like they were like, we might have to move from that house. I didn't feel like they was going to leave town.
Oh, no, they were talking about leaving town.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Hopper said something about them doing something. He was like, well, you're not going to live here, so why would you care? So, yeah, and it was just those little jabs, so I don't know if I get to call that truly a running theme, but, he would just poke those in there, for what? You ain't about to live here.
Right, yep.
So part of me, because all of it, happened the way it did, thought, oh, they're going to stay, because that's how all these things work. You're going to stay in the same house, and the Demogorgon is still going to come and see you at night. It's like,
at night.
Yeah,
every night.
Of course you're going to stay. So, them actually leaving was like, oh, shit, y'all left.
Right.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I was thinking that she would move from the house, but and even when Hopper made his little comments, I thought he was just being exaggerating.
Extra.
Being extra dramatic, all of that. So when at the end, and even when I saw the U-Haul truck, I was like, oh, let me find out. Nancy and Jonathan about to move in together. I don't know why they need that big ass truck. I was like, oh.
I love it.
Is really this way we going in the 80s? We're gonna act like people was just shacking up like we do now.
Right.
All right, cool. So that was interesting to me. I was like, oh, the whole family, they moving. And then I was like, oh, they moving. They, they're not moving up the street. So,
no, they outro.
They out. So that really threw me off. It did make sense that 11 was now going to be living with Joyce and and Jonathan. Got all them names.
Look at you.
Killing it.
But it still was like, oh, you're just going to leave town altogether. Interesting. Okay. So
yeah.
That threw me
I
off.
felt the same way. It was weird for me. It was like, oh, so that's the smart move. That's what you're supposed to do if you didn't leave. this whole time, I'd be like, the fuck is wrong with them? Why do they still live there? You know?
Yeah.
But so you're doing it right, but I'm still confused. Like, oh shit, well what's and I know they referenced like a point where they're already coming back. Yeah. So we've got our starting point. But it was still just like, oh man, that's gonna be even weirder. Like, what's the relationship? He already felt like he was on the outside a little bit. What's that relationship like once he's gone? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, well, hopefully they'll respect my man Will a little bit more, because I have really felt like it is not enough that he has been kidnapped and been in the upside down. Y'all still got this nigga sitting in the trunk. Ain't nobody paying attention. Like, the guy's been left alone. He's still riding his bike home by himself.
Yeah.
He fucking messed up the whole goddamn clubhouse.
Oh my God, Will lost his whole mind for that.
He completely did. And I was like, okay, this is a little dramatic, Will, but I'm going to let you have that because you probably fed up about a lot of things, honestly.
Yeah, of all the people, right? Let you live.
Yeah.
Listen,
through it all.
I'm going to put a portion of that back on Will because that's what you get for not letting everybody know how serious this shit was and what was actually happening. And then once everyone realizes what's going on, it's like, hey, let's play D&D. Nigga, are you out your mind? Have you lost your? You put the whole costume on, bruh? You're crazy right now.
My man did the whole costume. Will the Wise was here for the whole campaign.
Listen, come on, man. He's bugging.
It does annoy me to no end that watching him touch the back of his neck was like, stop.
Right.
Stop it. Because you touched the back of your neck like 17 times before you told someone what that meant. We knew what it meant. Why are you not telling your friends who are very clearly in danger?
Bruh.
And I get it. We all have coping mechanisms and maybe want to pretend like things aren't happening. But like, fam, you know how bad this is. You don't have time to be like, I'm not sure. I'm going to wait it out.
Right. Maybe it's nothing. No, it's something.
Maybe it's nothing.
Jesus, Will.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
No, it's cool. I mean, I don't always tell my friends that I get chills on the back of my neck, but I also haven't been kidnapped
by a mind flayer.
Right.
So maybe don't try and find yourself in that part of the story.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. You got it. You got it.
So speaking of him not giving the seriousness of how big of a deal this was, this is 3 times in a row now that children have saved the world.
Bruh.
In this world.
Amber. What is the significance of that to you?
What was the question?
What's the significance of that to you?
I think it falls right into the homage to, this type of film and these types of stories. Like it's a Scooby-Doo mystery. I would have got away with it if it wasn't for these meddling kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how those movies used to play. Think about it. Monster Squad, Goonies. It's that all over again every single time. It's these kids up against what's going to decimate the entire planet, but these kids are going to get it with their slingshots and
and fireworks.
Yeah, slingshots and fireworks, and we're going to save the day. Like, so it's dope and hilarious, and they've done it in a way that it doesn't seem as ridiculous as it should seem. When we were coming up watching those films, we were all in because we were in the same age bracket with these kids, and we were like, yeah, we could do this. We could totally do this. This could be us. We could get on our bikes and just – no, you couldn't. You really couldn't. First off, you never would have been able to transport that big-ass ham radio. Like, there's just so many things. It's just completely unrealistic.
Wow, way to way to tell us all not to dream big.
Okay.
You know.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, you know what, guys? I am sorry. but in Stranger Things, it all seems less ridiculous. We did get adults interacting, and that increased from season to season. There were the news reporting was like there were 30 casualties. People died. Normally what ends up happening is when the monster is defeated, it melts away and these people come back and they're alive and they wake up and it's like, I don't remember anything that happened.
What happened?
Nah, they're dead. These people are dead. They're gone completely. The Russians got away. When the police showed up, it wasn't like all the Russians dropped to their knees and, the police showed up just in time. No, y'all showed up and the Russians were gone. Completely.
Gone, all the way gone.
All the way. You didn't get a single Russian, bro. Like, none of them.
Not even a hint. Not a
not a red star or nothing. A nothing.
Nothing.
Bro. Nothing. So, I mean, it's a nice tribute to that era of films and that type of storytelling, but it's updated in a way that it worked really, really well. And you weren't sitting here like, oh, come on. There's no way that
this could
happen.
never.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think mixed with like 11 having powers and being the only one to have powers and connected to this like, science facility and like the kids being, nerds. Like if all of them had powers, it wouldn't work. If
right.
some of them weren't nerds, it wouldn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's like a perfect mixture of all the things that you need. Even Hopper, if Hopper wasn't a sheriff, I don't think the story would work all the way either, right? His flexibility and like his ability to be able to get, like just all those things. It's like the perfect cocktail of stuff.
Right.
That allows you to just kind of suspend some of the reality, but also be like, okay, I'll buy that,
Right.
Totally. We got very lucky in the way that Stranger Things gave us a bonus scene, unlike any other season. This is not something they do.
Mm-hmm.
We ended the season with some sadness surrounding Hopper possibly dying, being stuck in that room when the accelerator, I don't know what that was called.
The particle accelerator, flux capacitor.
The particle accelerator, the flux, that thing, yes. When it went haywire and melted people in the room, which also, again, there were no puddles of people.
Yeah, everything gone.
Like, anyway.
Yeah, if I don't see you die, then you kind of don't die.
Right. I'm same. But we got a bonus scene, so we got confirmation, right?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said we had a bonus scene, so we got confirmation that that's not what was happening. Like,
yeah.
So we are in somewhere Russia.
Yeah.
In some sort of prison facility, but probably not
research
prison
facility. Yeah.
Yeah, not exactly. Like legit prison.
Yeah. And we get the Russian saying, "Oh, take him, don't take the American." So the presumption there is that has to be Hopper,
right?
Because all the Russians disappeared, and so did he.
Right. Right.
And they take this poor Russian soul, who God knows what he did, treasonous bastard, I'm sure. They take him down into the basement and throw him in the cage, lift up a slot door thing, and out pops a brand new style demigorgon
motherfucker.
Eat niggas for lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. That was wild.
New color. That new shit is the Audi something A8.
Oh, I used to have an Audi.
Yeah. Yeah.
That smoky gray. Yeah. What in the shit? So the Russians have found a way to control one of these, to weaponize it.
Well, not just that.
And this is in the 80s still.
Yeah, well, I mean, not just that. This one looks different because they've been bioengineering these motherfuckers. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a hybrid of some sort. And, yeah, like you said, they've controlled it. It's under some level of control, period, to the fact that they've housebroken it and they can let it out, feed it, and then make it go back to where it wants to hang out in the cooler climate. Like, that shit is crazy. That shit is wild. I watched that scene maybe like 6 times. I just kept bringing it back like, this is insane. And they made a point to show us that the hands were that much different. They did a zoom on that.
Right.
Like, oh, this is not the same old Demogorgon guy.
This is not what you've seen.
This is not what you've seen. This is some other shit. So, I mean, that really, like, so what does that mean for next season? I don't want to see these kids in Russia. It doesn't make sense for the kids to be in Russia. So, like, you know.
Yeah, that was never a thought of mine. That's all.
Me either, yo.
Yeah.
That's why I'm cracking up. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, true, I don't either.
I trust the Duffers brothers. They've been giving us some really good shit. So however they plan on, you know, maybe this turns it into something that now affects, you know, the entire U.S. You know, maybe this is some Cold War shit and it just becomes larger than them now, especially with people leaving the town and all of that shit. That's the only way I see this shit playing out, because they closed up everything in their town. We're seeing Demogorgons in Russia, like, you know. So I'm curious to see how they're gonna play this shit out. Seriously.
So I don't know about the Russia part. I think we all agree that Hopper is still alive.
Yes.
I don't think that Hopper is. I feel like it's too easy to be like, oh, the American and that be Hopper. I feel like Hopper is in the Upside Down somewhere, because he was right near the machine. He's been in the Upside Down before. But the biggest thing was at the end, they had 11 reading that letter, and he closes that letter out with, like, leave the door 3 inches open. And so I feel like that's a hint to, like, oh, the door to the Upside Down was just open a little bit. Hopper just slid up in there. He's been there with Winona before. So I feel like that's probably.
Well, but that letter was written previous, right?
But you're
like
just
that
saying
letter
as a what's the name? As a
as an Easter egg.
Yeah. What do they call? So what's the other thing they call? I can't remember. Foreshadowing.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And not just like I'm following it. I'm trying to follow the theory, and I like it.
Yeah.
But it's not.
I like it better than the whack theory.
I just want to be clear that I'm not arguing it. I just have a question.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
The 3 inches thing was such a prevalent thing in, you know, their interacting when Mike was over there, that that could that not just mean that?
I mean, it could, but I just feel like she's moving out of town, so she's not going to be kissy-facing with Mike anymore. And so I feel like that means more than just that now. I feel like they try to throw you back to that, to be like, aha, there's something else.
Totally. And I'm like, well, he wrote this letter before, so that's obviously this is what he's talking about. And this is dope. Please, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so I feel like it's a play off of that. Like, I don't feel like he was writing that to 11 to be like, get me from the Upside Down. It's 3 inches. The door is open. You know, I don't think he's saying that to her, but I think that, like, the writers are leaving that as like
leaving that for us.
Leaving that for us.
I don't remember. Could the American be Murray? Where was Murray when everything ended? I can't remember where he was.
Oh, he was holding Alexi. We don't ever see him
after that.
No, he was with Winona. He goes to her at the end. He's like, "Where is Hopper?" And
he sure enough does. He sure enough does.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know if we see him after that, but they definitely were together.
Okay, so this it still works. It still works. Now, I'm fucking with. So we had heard a theory about Hopper going into the the Upside Down, and it was a whack theory. It was a whack theory the way dude played it all the way out. Your version of him being stuck there, him seeing that way out as the only way he could survive that explosion, that works. That does make sense to me. And then also the 3 inches thing. Murray could still be the American they have. It just didn't have to happen at that moment. They could have picked him up weeks later.
Right.
True.
That would be fucking dope.
I did see a theory that the American could be, I mean, it's kind of a stretch, but that original doctor who pretty much was, I don't want to say made 11, but, you know,
Papa.
who made, right. And I feel like he set off a bunch of the stuff. So if they're trying to, the idea is that if the Russians are doing this whole thing to build a weapon, then grabbing him would be...
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about him.
Yeah.
I didn't either, because I don't think we've seen him since season 1.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
We saw
That's
him
what made me
projected
like-
in season 2. We saw him as a projection in season 2 when the other girl with the powers made him pop up on 11. Yeah. But that would be dope. That would be dope.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that would also be terrifying because that's how they would be able to get a Demogorgon that can read your mind and locate you, and you know what I mean? Like, fuck, that's terrifying. Don't nobody need that business. They got to end this on this season, man, if we go on that route.
Yeah, chill out, bro.
Right.
Because I don't want to see how that plays out.
This shit's gonna turn into Independence Day. We don't need all that shit. Chill out, people.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Did y'all have a favorite scene, like, for the whole season? I think my favorite scene was, like, the cabin. Them fighting the Demogorgon, or the Mind Flayer in the cabin.
That was pretty dope. My favorite scene would either be the Neverending Story or the bathroom scene with Steve and Robin.
The what?
The bathroom scene with Steve and Robin.
Oh, yeah.
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 Like when he crawled
Except
under.
that she was actually laying on that nasty-ass floor. That was
Yo, he was worse. He crawled
then had
underneath
the nerve
the
to
stall.
call him out on laying on the floor.
Yeah, like, sheesh. Yeah.
Everybody's forgetting that they were super dumb high before that, though. So hopefully that means something here.
y'all still nasty.
I don't know.
Y'all still nasty.
I can pretty much
guess
that you've never laid on a bathroom floor, even
You're
though
right.
you have been super dumb high.
I've also never gone into a public restroom to throw up and put my body on the floor.
Nah. Nope.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Like, that just doesn't even compute to me. I don't know how they get down there. Do you know what's happening down there?
Yeah. I also wonder what they were drugged with, like what they were actually on.
Right.
Oh, man.
It's supposed to be like
all the
something,
shit.
a version of a truth serum. I forgot what the name, the
So,
chemical name.
it was probably ecstasy.
Right.
What we now know is ecstasy.
Sodium by ecstasy.
Right. Right.
Oh,
I don't know about a favorite scene. I really, I did love the girls go shopping scene. That was super cute. I loved the fireworks scene, actually. I was super happy that Lucas's plan was working in any way. I mean, we knew it wouldn't destroy, but we knew it had to be all together, and I thought that was dope.
I didn't mention that in our redemption.
Oh, right. I did also like seeing Hopper beat the mayor the fuck up, like in his office. Was it in his office? Either way. He's such a smug piece of shit. I needed to see his nose get broken, you know? Oh, yeah, that was outside or something. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I appreciated that a lot. I'm sure there's more, but I wasn't prepared for that question.
Yeah, sorry, I just put that on you.
Wasn't ready for the pop quiz. We already talked about rewatchability, but I think we could give the full rating now, right?
Yeah.
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 I mean, we don't have Castro, but yeah.
So
I give it all the no names.
likewise.
This was my favorite season of Stranger Things altogether, and I'm excited to see what comes next. I don't have nearly as many predictions as anybody else, and I'm going to try and keep it that way.
As anybody else. Oh my god. Yeah, I give it all the no names. It without question. They are killing it. Season after season, they are killing it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's my favorite season, but I definitely really enjoyed it, and especially I think I enjoyed it more than I anticipated I would. I was low-key, like, kind of hating in the beginning. Like, this is going to be stupid.
But what was making you think that? You have to tell us that before we go.
I don't know. I've just been kind of like in this little bubble, so I didn't see any promo for it. I didn't really, like, I felt like some things, like, started popping up, and I was like, oh, Stranger Things is out, but this is weird. It's summer. I don't know. And so I think that, like,
summer definitely threw me.
And then just not being a part of, like, that usual hype, and it just, like, coming out of left field for me, I was just like, man, this ain't even had no promo. They just throwing this out. I don't know. These kids are old. And, you know, it started with some kissing. So I was just like, old, grumpy woman. Like, yeah, I don't want to see these
kids are old.
He's at your little kids no more.
Old. Yeah, I definitely said that.
That's hilarious.
These kids are old.
I was low-key. It was low-key.
Old-ass kids. Terrible. Do better.
You know what's crazy though is that I don't know if it's the wigs only or what, but like seeing them in promo for it after the fact is like now they look grown in those promos, you know, and it's like when the fuck did y'all film that?
Right.
You're so much bigger now,
right?
And really, y'all have to film now. You got to pull the Harry Potter because.
Yeah, you're going to have to do that shit now because y'all are just growing exponentially. I
think that wraps our Stranger Things second half, season 3, episodes 5 through 8 call. Sam Castro. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it.
Y'all decent.
leave a comment, smash that like button, all the shit.
All the shit.
Oh, and check out our Patreon page.
Yeah, B.
Yes.
Straight
and
up.
Support.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Holla.
Peace.
Excellent. You're still here. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of A Podcast Has No Name. If this is your first time checking us out, please subscribe. We are available on Google Play, Apple Music, Spotify, and pretty much everywhere else you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Podcast Has No Name. Deuces.
Subscribe, please, please, please. Click and comment.